What if I told you there's one word that makes a narcissist panic? Not shout, not argue. Just panic. A word so simple, but so psychologically devastating, that it shuts down their manipulation in an instant. Sounds too good to be true? Stay with me. Because when you use this word the right way, calmly, without emotion, you'll see something incredible happen. The narcissist suddenly loses control. The mask slips. The confusion starts to show in their eyes. Why? Because narcissists feed on emotional reactions. They poke you to get a rise. They insult you to pull you into a fight. They create chaos just to feel powerful. But this word? It's like unplugging their power source. It's not loud. It's not aggressive. In fact, it's almost boring. And that's what makes it so lethal. They expect drama. They want resistance. But when you drop this one word with total calm, you deny them everything they're looking for. And let me be clear, this isn't about winning an argument. It's about psychological freedom. Think about how many times you've walked away from a conversation with a narcissist, feeling drained, confused, or doubting yourself. That's not random. That's designed. But not anymore. Not after today. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you that word and explain exactly why it shuts them down, how to use it, and when it's most effective. And if you've ever dealt with a narcissist, a partner, a parent, a boss, even a so-called friend, this is going to be a game changer. So take a deep breath. Let's flip the power dynamic. Let's take back control. And let's start by exposing the one word that narcissists absolutely hate to hear. Stay with me. This is going to get powerful. Narcissists thrive on control, but not just any kind of control. Emotional control. They don't need to yell to dominate you. Sometimes all it takes is a look, a passive-aggressive comment, or the perfect guilt trip. They are experts at finding your emotional weak spots. They study your reactions. They test boundaries like it's a sport. And every time you defend yourself, justify your actions, or try to make them understand, you unknowingly hand them more power. Here's the cold truth. You can't out-argue a narcissist. Why? Because you're playing by rules. And they're not. Let's break it down. Narcissists use what psychologists call narcissistic supply, which is basically your emotional energy. It doesn't matter if it's positive attention, negative attention, or complete chaos. As long as you're reacting, they're feeding. And the more you react, the deeper they hook you. They want you angry. They want you upset. They want you off balance. Because when you're emotionally overwhelmed, you're easier to manipulate. Sound familiar? You try to set a boundary, and suddenly you're the bad guy. You ask for clarity, and they accuse you of being too sensitive. You walk away from a conversation more confused than when you started. That's not by accident. It's strategy. You may think, if I can just explain myself better? No, that's exactly what they want. They want you defending. They want you explaining. Because the moment you do, you're giving them the stage. And they're already rewriting the script. You'll never win a war that's designed to keep you losing. And that's why most people stay stuck in the loop. Because they think they have to out-talk, outsmart, or outlast the narcissist. But what if I told you? You don't need to win the argument. You just need to stop playing the game. That's where this one word comes in. It's not about yelling. It's not about matching their manipulation with more manipulation. It's about ending the interaction on your terms. This word is a boundary. It's a wall. It's emotional bulletproof glass. Because the only way to beat a narcissist is to become unreactive, emotionally unavailable to their drama. That doesn't mean you're cold. It means you're in control. And once you learn to use this word the right way, everything changes. You stop over-explaining. You stop engaging in circular conversations. You stop feeling like you're losing a piece of yourself after every interaction. Instead, you feel calm, clear, centered. And that calmness? That's what rattles the narcissist the most. They don't fear confrontation. They fear irrelevance. And when you drop this one word in a calm, non-reactive tone, you become completely untouchable. So now that you understand their game, let's reveal the one word that breaks it wide open. Are you ready? Because this is where the shift begins. The word is, okay. That's it. Just one calm, nonchalant, okay. Now you might be thinking, seriously? That's it? Yes. And that's exactly why it works. Let me explain. Narcissists are master manipulators, but their entire strategy depends on one thing, your reaction. They'll bait you. They'll insult you. They'll accuse you of things you didn't do. And what they're hoping for is that you'll take the bait, that you'll argue, that you'll explain, that you'll try to make them see your point. But when you respond with just one word, okay, delivered with complete emotional detachment, you cut the wire. No fuel, no feedback, no drama, just silence. And here's the kicker. Okay is unarguable. It's not defensive. It's not aggressive. It doesn't invite a response. It leaves the narcissist in limbo. And that drives them absolutely crazy. Because now they don't know what to do. You've broken the pattern. See, narcissists rely on emotional escalation. They poke until you explode. And then they point and say, see, you're the problem. But when you say okay, calmly and confidently, you deny them that moment. You're not fighting. You're not folding. You're just not playing. Imagine this. They say, you're always making things about you. You reply, okay. They say, you don't care about anyone but yourself. You shrug, okay. They try to gaslight you, that never happened. You're just remembering it wrong. You nod and say, okay, watch what happens. They hesitate. They stammer. They try harder to provoke you. Because now they've lost control of the conversation. They're no longer leading it, you are. Now don't get this twisted. This is not about being passive or dismissive. It's about reclaiming your peace. It's emotional judo. You're using their own momentum against them. Without lifting a finger, let's go even deeper into why this works. Because okay doesn't just end a conversation, it ends a cycle. You're no longer defending your worth. You're no longer chasing closure. You're no longer performing for someone who never intended to understand you. You're making one bold, silent statement. Your opinion no longer controls me. And that, more than anything, is what narcissists fear. Because they don't want you strong. They don't want you self-assured. They want you hooked, confused, emotional. But okay is emotional sobriety. It's a boundary in one syllable. Now here's what to expect. They might escalate at first. Try harder to get a rise. They might accuse you of being cold, dismissive, or disrespectful. They might try to guilt you back into emotional availability. Don't fall for it. This is their last-ditch attempt to pull you back into the chaos. Your job is simple. Hold the line. Stay calm. Keep saying okay. Not sarcastically. Not bitterly. Just neutral, cool, emotionally grounded. Eventually, they'll run out of steam. Because narcissists can't play the game alone. They need a partner in the drama. And when you stop showing up to that performance, the show ends. So next time you feel baited, stop. Breathe. Say okay. And watch their power dissolve. It's not just a word. It's a shift. A boundary. A reset. One word. All your power. Let's dive into the psychology behind why this one simple word, okay, is so powerful against a narcissist. First, understand this. Narcissists aren't just difficult people. They operate from a deep need to dominate emotionally. At their core is fragile self-worth, masked by arrogance, control, and manipulation. They manipulate to survive emotionally, and the tool they use to do that? Your emotions. Every time you react positively or negatively, they get what psychologists call narcissistic supply. That's the real currency they trade in. Not love. Not respect. Control. Now here's where things get tactical. Most victims of narcissistic abuse fall into the trap of J.A.D.E. Justifying, arguing, defending, explaining. It feels natural. You want to be understood. You want to correct the lie, clear the air, stand up for yourself. But guess what? Every time you J.A.D.E, you stay in the ring. You're fighting a battle that's rigged against you. Narcissists don't argue to resolve things. They argue to win control. And if they can keep you talking, they're winning. Now enter the word okay. Okay sidesteps the entire trap. It doesn't justify. It doesn't argue. It doesn't defend. It doesn't explain. It's a verbal dead end. You're not agreeing. You're not conceding. You're just not engaging. Let's use an example. Narcissist. You never listen to me. You always make everything about yourself. Old you. That's not true. I listen to you all the time. Remember yesterday when them? That doesn't count. You only did that to make yourself look good. Round and round you go. But the new you hear the same insult and calmly reply, okay, and then you move on. No explanation. No emotional spike. Just neutral presence. Here's what just happened. 1. You rejected the emotional bait. They tried to provoke you into defending yourself. You didn't bite. 2. You disrupted the pattern. Narcissists thrive on predictability. Emotional outbursts. Okay is unpredictable. That unnerves them. 3. You removed their control. When you don't react, they don't know what to do. They can't hook you anymore. 4. You protected your energy. No more wasted breath. No more circular conversations. Just peace. Now let's talk about tone. Tone is everything with this tactic. Okay, must be delivered flat. No sarcasm. No eye roll. No passive aggression. Because if you say okay with attitude, you're still reacting. And if you react, they win. But a calm, grounded okay? That's untouchable. It tells the narcissist, I hear you. I don't agree. But I don't owe you my energy. That's kryptonite to them. They'll push back. Try harder. They might even say, oh, so now you don't care? Guess what your response is? Okay. Let it land. Let them squirm in the silence. Because silence, calm, confident silence, is what narcissists fear most. It reflects back their own emptiness. They crave control, but they can't control a person who doesn't engage. That's why this word works so deeply. It's more than a word. It's a boundary. It says, I'm no longer a source of fuel for your ego. And over time, they'll realize something dangerous. You've changed. You're no longer playing the game. You've stepped out of the maze and left them running in circles alone. And that is the beginning of your freedom. Now that you understand the psychology behind the word okay, let's bring it into real life situations, because this is where it becomes practical, powerful, and honestly satisfying. This isn't just theory. This is a tool you can use today. Let's go through common scenarios where narcissists love to pull their tricks, and how one calm okay can flip the script. 1. A narcissistic boss criticizing you. Boss, you clearly didn't take initiative on this project. I shouldn't have to babysit you. You, old response. I actually did everything ahead of schedule. Let me show you the reports. You, new response. Okay. Then silently turn back to your work. What happens? They're expecting you to fight for your worth. Prove your value, grovel for approval. Instead, you offer nothing. You stay grounded. They lose the upper hand. Suddenly, they're the one left looking petty, aggressive, and unprofessional, while you look calm, composed, and focused. 2. A toxic romantic partner blaming you. Partner, it's always your fault. You never listen. You only think about yourself. You, old response. That's not true! You're the one who's never there for me emotionally. You, new response. Okay. Then leave the room, or continue what you were doing. Why this works? They want you to fight. They want you to cry. They want to see that they still have emotional power over you. But when you don't flinch, don't argue, and don't feed their ego, they panic. They realize they're losing their grip. Remember, they don't want resolution. They want domination. Okay is the moment they realize they don't own you anymore. 3. A family member guilt-tripping you. Parent, wow. So you're just going to ignore your family now? I guess we don't matter to you anymore. You, old response. That's not fair. I've been busy, and I still check in when I can. Don't make me feel bad. You, new response. Okay. Even better? Follow it with silence. Let the weight of your calm hit harder than any emotional rebuttal ever could. Why this works? Guilt is a favorite tool in narcissistic family systems. It's subtle, but suffocating. Okay, ends the manipulation. You're not denying their statement. You're simply refusing to engage with it. That subtle distinction is everything. 4. A friend who constantly undermines you. Friend. Well, not everyone needs to post their success online to feel good about themselves. You, old response. I wasn't trying to brag. I just wanted to share something I was proud of. You, new response. Okay. Then let the awkward silence do the work. Here's what's happening. You've just shown them that their jab didn't land. And when their insults don't hit, they start to question their control over you. That's when they either back off or reveal their true intentions. Want to take this further? If any of these examples hit close to home, pause and ask yourself, who in your life do you need to say okay to? Who has been draining your energy by pulling you into unnecessary emotional wars? Who has been using guilt, blame, or passive aggression to control you? Drop a comment below and tell me who that person is, without naming names if you prefer. Let's make this interactive. I'll jump in and give you personalized advice for your exact situation. And if you've already tried this word before with a narcissist, tell us what happened. Did they flip out? Did they go silent? Did they suddenly act confused? Your story could help someone else gain the courage to set that same boundary. Remember, this isn't about being rude. It's about protecting your energy and reclaiming your emotional freedom. Because the more calm you become, the louder their chaos sounds. Now you know the secret. One word, okay. Simple, subtle, devastating. Not because it's clever or manipulative, but because it takes back the one thing narcissists can't stand to lose: your emotional power. Let's be honest, you've probably spent years of your life walking on eggshells, second-guessing yourself, trying to say things the right way to avoid an argument, over-explaining, over-apologizing, overcompensating just to keep the peace. But the truth is, there is no peace with a narcissist, only control. And the moment you step out of that emotional tug-of-war, the game ends. That one word, okay, doesn't just end a conversation. It ends a pattern. It says, I don't need your approval. I won't fight for a version of peace that costs me my sanity. I am not your emotional puppet anymore. Will they push back? Absolutely. They'll escalate. They'll call you cold, ungrateful, heartless, fake, selfish. They'll accuse you of exactly what they're doing, because that's their playbook. But here's the part no one tells you. That escalation? It's a good sign. It means the tactic is working. It means they feel the shift. It means they're losing control, and they know it. So stay grounded, stay calm. Let the chaos swirl outside of you while you remain completely unaffected, because that's where your real power is. Detachment is power. Emotional neutrality is strength. And boundaries are your freedom. You don't need to match their chaos. You don't need to win the argument. You don't need to make them understand. You only need one word. Okay. And the beauty of this? It works whether you're face-to-face, texting, or even dealing with someone at work. The delivery is always the same. No emotion. No resistance. No reaction. Just calm. Let them spiral. Let them squirm. Let them rage. You'll be too busy protecting your peace to notice. So now, here's what I want you to do. 1. Try this word in your next interaction with a toxic person, and just observe the shift. 2. Drop a comment below and tell me how it went. Was the reaction instant? Did they double down? Did they fall silent? 3. Smash that like button if you're ready to protect your energy and stop playing their game. 4. Subscribe for more tactical tools, mindset shifts, and psychological strategies to reclaim your power from narcissists and manipulators. And if this helped you, share it. Because someone out there is still trapped in emotional chaos, thinking they need a complicated plan to escape it. They don't. They just need one word, one moment of calm, one decision to say, okay, and walk away with their power still intact.